So welcome everyone. Welcome to Salish Landing. My name is Rod Brandon. I'm the Executive Director of Seattle Housing Authority and just wanted to welcome you all to this beautiful day and just wonderful project, restoration project. So welcome. Before I get started, a couple things. I want to do a quick land acknowledgement first before we get started, so I'm going to read this to you. So on behalf of SHA, I would like to begin by acknowledging the land we're on, which we gather here today, is unceded ancestral land, which touches, shares waterways of the coastal Salish people, the Wamish people, the original stewards of the land, past, present, and future. This acknowledgement only becomes meaningful when we honor with gratitude the land itself, the indigenous people, not just today, but continuously. The power of the acknowledgement calls on all of us to end indigenous, ensure and engage in learning from much as you and I can about the local treaties and practices while working to build an accountable relationship. Thank you. So I see several familiar faces out there, and I just want to do some quick acknowledgement. I know I'm going to forget someone, but I just wanted to quickly acknowledge a few folks. With us this afternoon, Emily Alvarado, 34th District, as well as Enterprise Community Partners. Thanks, Emily, for joining us. Thanks for being there early with us. Michael, standing right next to you. I see you. Thank you, Michael. Seattle Office of Housing. Glad to have you. And do we have Josie McKinley here from Senator Cantwell's office? I thought I saw her out here. If not, thank you for joining us in spirit, so thank you. We're just really, really excited about this opening today. Some of you may know, it looks like another beautiful building that SHA and its partners, the City of Seattle, have put together. But it has a lot of deep meaning for us. This was a property called Lambeau. Back in around 2016, 2017, we had the unfortunate incident of a fire here, which sent one of our buildings up on a blaze. We were really fortunate during that time. We had a maintenance mechanic who worked for SHA who was nearby. We had a Seattle police officer who, Officer Pritt, I think his name was, who was nearby. Both of those two individuals heard about the fire, responded on their own, and they proceeded to go knocking door by door by door to get residents out of the building who were unaware that the fire was occurring on different sides of the building. And they were just heroic in that activity. So the two of them definitely saved some lives for individuals here in Seattle. So just a round of applause both for Thaddeus and Pitcher. Thank you. But it just wasn't them. Soon after the fire, we had residents who were trying to figure out what's going to happen in the next half an hour, what's going to happen in the next day, the next months of their lives. We had community partners like Red Cross step up, meet us right here on site, and started to work aggressively on making sure that each one of those residents had a place to go that night. That they were thinking through their medical history. They were thinking through their other relationships with friends that they need to know where they were going to be. And they worked it through with SHA's help and other partners' help. It was just beautiful to see. So we're really, really excited about those partners. So thank you again, and I'll call out Red Cross because they continue to be there. Other people stepped up during that time. We weren't even expecting. We thought that Red Cross and other community partners here in the Del Ridge were doing a great job, but other partners stepped up and started donating food, donating supplies to residents, diapers, to other food items that they may need, both as they were making their journey to another place. We were fortunate that those individuals were able to find housing and other SHA property throughout the city. And so we worked hard to relocate them. And we're fortunate that a number of them have come back to this new redevelopment. So it's really, really great. So I want to thank you. I want to welcome you, and if you get a chance, peek inside the building. Go inside the units if you're available to do a tour, if they're doing more tours. And also, thank a number of people you see here today, not just the folks who are standing up here, but there's some really important folks in the audience. We have folks from the banking industry who help finance this. We have the construction team here with us in the back who continue to work with us from Walsh Construction. They all did a great job in making this come true for us. So thank you very much. With that, I want to introduce the mayor of the city of Seattle. So, Mayor, thank you. You guys have always been a great partner with us. You continue to be a good partner with us, and we look forward to just more and more projects with you. So, Mayor Harold.
Thank you, Rod. Thank you, Rod. Dude is tall. Today on August 1st, 2023 is just a typical Tuesday. Nothing special going on today. Other than this great celebration, this great partnership. We all know that you're here because you know what building housing means to Seattle and indeed to this country. We need more affordable housing. It's not a complex message. It's both the key to preventing and addressing the homelessness crisis, and indeed addressing many of the policies in our country that have gone sideways in terms of racism and income inequality and some of the negative rhetoric you hear on a national basis. This is intentionality with this great partnership we've established with you as the City of Seattle. And it's really my honor to serve as mayor during this critical times where I think we are redefining or defining for the first time who we really want to be as a community, and we cannot do it without you. This Salish Landing is a prime example of a great example of how we will continue to serve families. This building, 79 units, will serve families and individuals with incomes up to 30% to 60% AMI. And quite frankly, that is the demographic, if you will, that will keep us a world-class city. This is not pity work. This is not feeling sorry for people. This is realizing the richness and the brilliance of people of all income levels, and this is what we're on earth to do, to make sure that all boats rise. And it starts with housing. It starts and it continues with education. It continues with education, mentorship, love, faith, commitment, and all of those virtues that will make us a great city. So this partnership, indeed, I am proud to be a partner of it. Even better, Seattle Housing Authority provided relocation options for residents and those who were displaced by the fire. And again, as Rod talked about, I wasn't personally part of those efforts, so I won't, well, I was around, but I don't want to say I was out here doing the grassroots work. I mean, that'd be an embellishment, but I know many of you were, and for that I'm very thankful that we were able to see past that, past those issues to where we are here today. I'm glad that families living here will join the more than 10,000 adults and 7,300 households who are participating in the first partnership between a supportive housing organization and local transit initiatives at the scale we are doing in this country. This is beautiful work. I talked earlier this year about our new initiative sharing unlimited use of Orca cards, free transit passes to SHA residents. Transit opens doors for so many opportunities. So when we're putting all this policy work together with real implementation, I think that's where the magic happens. This is a comprehensive approach to bringing our partnership together and creating places for people to live, to work, to play, and to prevent displacement. That becomes critical in this work of preventing displacement. I said to many of you when I was running for office that I wanted to be a housing mayor, and I can't do it without a strong partnership that I see in front of me and to my sides, to my left. Our current budget will include the largest investment of its kind in affordable housing in our city's history, $250 million. This project was supported with $3.5 million from the previous Seattle Housing Levy. We formed in my administration a housing sub-cabinet. I'm so glad that Michael's here because she has the reputational goodwill for doing, yes, that's a new one for you, reputational goodwill for doing this kind of work, because some of this work you quite frankly just have to have lived experience in fighting for communities. We set a goal of approving all affordable housing permits within 1 year of submission. I like data. I like saying exactly what we're going to do and then we deliver on it. Working with OPCD on our comprehensive plan update, ensuring thoughtful density increases and true community input, not just the, quite frankly, the same loud voices that dominate the conversation. I've said in my cabinet and my administration, we have to be the masters at listening, being able to paraphrase back that which you hear. That's how you get deals done. You have to show that you understand and empathize and understand the person across the table from you. We are committed to preventing displacement in everything that we do, and so I'm very glad to have this partnership together. And when I talk about One Seattle, I'm looking at it right now. So SHA, community leaders, housing advocates, thank you for helping me build One Seattle. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Great partnership, great partnership. Also with us is a representative from the City Council who's had just tremendous support to SHA. Cannot thank her enough for her work that she has done. So I want to introduce Councilmember Teresa Mosqueda.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for having me here today. I wanted, before I get started, invite Representative Alvarado to come up and join me too. Just want to make sure, in case you didn't know, she is the representative of the 34th Legislative District where we stand, and is a leader on housing and has actively worked to identify funding for this area. So I'll say a few words, but just want to make sure if you do too, you want to say something, but we acknowledge that this is, as the mayor said, a One Seattle effort that couldn't be done without our partners in the state legislature and our federal HUD partners and our congressional members who are constantly looking out for how we can build better, build faster, build with union work. Give it up for the workers who helped to make this place possible. And that as we do so, we make it possible for more people to put their roots down and stay here in the city of Seattle. It's truly a collaborative effort, so thank you for joining up here. This is about celebrating today. Today, we're celebrating not just housing, not just the construction here. We're celebrating policy turned into action. It is very rare in creating public policy you actually get to celebrate something tangible. This is the celebration of policy investments, of budget provisos, of directives that we have asked for our incredible partners at the department to lead with the community who has been most affected by displacement, to lead in partnership with organizations and individuals who are rooted in and serving those who've been most affected by displacement, past practices of redlining, racist segregation, to make sure that those voices are centered in the work that we do to right the historic wrongs that is still embedded in our housing policy, in our zoning policies, and in our lending strategies. We can undo those historic wrongs by efforts like this to put the community at the center and identify how we get community back in a place called home in the city of Seattle, next to their place of work, next to child care centers, next to transit hubs, and make sure that we create a generational opportunity for people to call Seattle home. That's what we're celebrating. We are celebrating those policies turned into action, and we are celebrating that these keys will be opening the doors to new home ownership opportunities and rental opportunities. We are showing what building community looks like, and we are doing this in the week that we also celebrate the canoe journey. So I lift my hands to all of those who have lifted your hands this week, to those who are out on the canoe journey, and thank you for the opportunity to celebrate here with you as well. This project exemplifies that partnership. It is a product of what years of working together and a vision of what a more affordable Seattle, a more reflective and inclusive Seattle can look like. I'm going to tell you, I did not know this until I was walking through the tour, which is incredible. One of my staff members, Aretha Basu, who is a community leader and used to work on my staff for a number of years, she lived next door, and I got a call from her late at night. And it was when the old building was being torn down, maybe 2 years ago or so. And she was in tears, and she said, the building's being torn down. I know families that live there. I play with their kids. Is there something that we can do? And I just called her to say, this is what was growing. That building was being torn down, and the seed that planted, the roots that grew this building were being established at the same time. This is the full circle of what it looks like to now have 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms, washers and dryers in units, solar power on the roof, a grass and a plaza to play in, opportunity for elders to gather under shade, and for community to truly put their roots down and never be erased or displaced. And she said, I feel so happy now knowing that was what was happening. And that is the story that I think the mayor was also telling too. People get very fearful about displacement and what building something new might look like. But as we went on the tour, we heard that every single person who lived here, even prior to the fire, was offered the opportunity to come back. 100% of the people who lived here had an opportunity to come back. This is how we fight displacement. This is how we fight the high cost of housing, and this is how we truly create community. So I'm thrilled to be here with you to celebrate the units, to make sure that we are also celebrating the fact that this is with a library, a community center, a space for classes and activities. We're growing community as we create place. We're next to Rapid Ride, we're next to schools, we're next to shopping and small businesses. And it's been done in partnership with Seattle Department of Transportation and their work with SHA to make sure, as the mayor mentioned, people get free Orca cards. How exciting is that? It's my honor to be able to be here to celebrate with you, but I know that this is years of work that I am just able to now be here to lift my hands up to you all and to celebrate the hard work that you've done. So thank you for allowing me to be part of this. Thank you for the vision and the community that's brought this partnership together, to our city and to our federal partners and to our state partners. And with that, Representative Alvarado, anything else you'd like to add? Sure. Okay, let's give it up for this incredible establishment. Thank you.
I'll say one thing. Thank you very much, Councilmember Mosqueda. I'm Emily Alvarado, representative in this district. And it really is such a joy to welcome more affordable housing to the 34th district. We need it. We want it. We want the diversity. We want the homes for our workforce. We want the homes for people who work in our community, who otherwise have been displaced from our community. And we know that creating affordable housing takes partnerships like it takes here between the federal, state, and local governments. And I'm committed as a state representative to working hard to bringing more state resources to our community and communities across the state so we can create more affordable homes. We all do better when everyone has a safe, affordable, high-quality home like this. So thank you very much.
Thank you. What a team behind me, you guys. You heard that. Every time I get on stage with these three, it's just amazing. And Councilmember Mosqueda, thank you. Thank you for your words of encouragement, your powerful message to all of us. So thank you very much. Another partner we have here in the Seattle region, because SHA doesn't do this alone. So we have partners with HUD, the Housing and Urban Development Fund programs. I want to introduce to a speaker today representing HUD in Region 10. We're joined today by Gary Gant. So Gary, you want to come up and say a few words? Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This is a wonderful day. This property is absolutely fantastic. So I want to thank you for inviting me to today's grand opening for Salish Landing. I'd like to thank you for your commitment to housing and for being here today, and I'm happy to see so many friends and familiar faces. Today is a very exciting day as we celebrate the addition of 82 new permanent affordable homes being added to your community. Although a number of resources go into making affordable housing a reality, funds from HUD can be a key source to making affordable housing feasible in communities. I'm proud to say that Salish Landing will include 51 HUD-funded project-based vouchers through the Seattle Housing Authority. So let's give it up for the Seattle Housing Authority. So today's celebration is a testament of partnerships from the federal to the state and local levels. At HUD, bringing people home is at the heart of our work to create strong, sustainable, and inclusive communities and ensure quality homes for all. And not one of us today can make the reality without working together, all of us in homelessness in our community. So today we're celebrating the grand opening of beautiful new homes, but we are also celebrating the intention of our local leaders and the Seattle Housing Authority to create new housing opportunities here in our city, helping us make smart investments in our community's future. So in closing, thank you for inviting me to speak about HUD's contribution, and a huge thank you to everyone here that had a hand in making this project happen. Your work in this area is making a difference. Block by block, brick by brick, we are changing lives together, opening new doors for families in our region. I sincerely thank each of you for committing your time and energy to this calling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. Gary may have a soft voice, but the work that they do behind the scenes is really, really powerful and important for us. So when we need vouchers, when we need creative ways to do things a little bit different at SHA, the field office HUD is there to help us and help us think through it. So Gary, thank you for that. Thank you for your team. These projects don't happen without a lot of thinking and a lot of complex financing. We cannot do it without our local banks and our local commercial banks. I want to bring up Eric from Wells Fargo, who's a partner with this project with us, who help us creatively think of ways of getting it funded and work through all the different hoops, and also meet just some of the local needs here in Seattle that we need to meet to address our situation that may be unique from other communities across the country. So, Eric, with that, please join us.
Thank you. This really is, it's great to get out here. It really is a beautiful project. So congratulations to everyone involved, especially Seattle Housing Authority, but HUD, state and local government, everyone involved. To me, the focus of these events is, really on the residents, the people, the homes that we've built, and then the resulting community that is part of this. And all of those things are really important to me personally, and they're really important to Wells Fargo as an organization. This neighborhood, this community, the city of Seattle, the state of Washington. In 2022, Wells Fargo's commitment to the city of Seattle included $2.5 million of philanthropic giving focused on small businesses, financial health, sustainability, and housing. We invested in projects like this, another $32.5 million in tax credit equity, and we provided another $57.7 million in affordable housing loans to help develop projects like this. So this is a very real part of the things that are really important to our organization, as well as me personally. In addition to the financial commitment, Wells Fargo employees performed over 4,700 hours of service work, volunteer work in King County and Seattle in 2022. Personally, I had a couple conversations about this. These events are really meaningful to me because at the end of the day, a lot of the work that we do is emails and phone calls and spreadsheets and memos, and it can be easy to get lost and buried in that. And then you get here and you see the beautiful result in the project and the people who live here and everyone that benefits, and it's one of the best parts of the job for me. Also, it's a good reminder of all the people and all the work that goes in. We are certainly an important piece of this puzzle, but ultimately a pretty small piece of the puzzle as well. There's so much work that goes in before we even are contacted and start having conversations about working on projects like this. So I want to say thank you to Seattle Housing Authority and all the partners. Thank you on behalf of Wells Fargo for selecting us and partnering with us on this project. And thank you personally for allowing me to be here and celebrate this day with you. And congratulations to everyone involved.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. You heard the mayor and Councilor Mosqueda, so buckle up. We have a lot more that we want to do, so thank you. I know it's long when you just continue to hear folks, give these prepared speeches, but we are focused on the residents. And so today I want you to hear from a couple of the residents who were here before the redevelopment and here with the redevelopment. So I want to introduce two individuals to you. So Brianna and Teresa, you want to step up here for me? Both of these individuals were here at the old Lambeau apartments, and both are back at the redevelopment. So a few words from them in your own words, Teresa.
Hello, my name is Teresa, and this is Brianna. We were homeless before we moved into the Lambeau B building. We were there 2.5 months before the B building had a fire, and we lost everything. Before they started building the new building, we were placed into Westwood Heights East.
Which is near Safeway in Westwood Village. We have tried to stay upbeat with everything that has happened to us. Keep an upbeat attitude has helped us to stay healthy and happy. We recently moved to Salish Landing, and we are loving our new apartment. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you, Teresa. One more. Fatuma, is she? Come on up. Another resident.
Hi, my name is Fatuma Guia. I'm from Jackson Park. I come from Jackson Park. I moved here January, the end of the January actually, and then I'm happy. And then I have nice manager here. Her name is Shazia. Shazia, I love you. I love Shazia. Everybody from Dilridge, I love it. And then there is, I forget his name. Oh my God, it's my favorite. The one who moved me here. Yes, it's my favorite. It's my favorite. I love him. Yeah. And then one more word, and then I was homeless. I come from Michigan. Before I was in Michigan, and then I moved here, Seattle, and then I go to the shelter. Oh my God, I struggle. I have 4 kids, single mom, and then I'm okay. Thank you God, but I'm a strong woman. And then thank you for Seattle Housing to give it to me shelter. Thank you. I appreciate it, Seattle Housing. Yeah, that's all.
Well, thanks again, Fatuma. Thanks again, Teresa and Brianna. Now we're going to quickly do a ribbon cutting.
Message? Do you want to do Doshvana's message?
Yes, I can. We'll make that happen. So we had one other resident who was unable to make it, but they sent me something that they want me to read to you all about their experience. So I'll read it. When I got to the Lambeau Apartments in 2014, I was 18 years old, and it was my first apartment. I was there for 2 years. Then one day, I left my apartment to run an errand, and a few minutes later, a friend called and said that Lambeau building was ablaze. I raced back to the building, and it was destroyed, and we were not allowed to go back in. 2 weeks later, when the fire department escorted me back into the building, I can see I lost everything. Upper floors had collapsed on mine. The water damage was extensive. The only thing of all my furniture and clothes and possessions I managed to save was a picture of my grandmother that my mother had passed down to me. SHA got me another apartment in South Seattle. I lived there until SHA contacted me recently and asked if I wanted to move back into the new building where Lambeau used to be. I've been driving by the construction and I was so excited at the offer to move back to a beautiful building. I had to work the day they invited me to the tour and chose an apartment that I was so excited I took the whole day off. It was so quiet and nice, I love it. Maybe the fire in some ways was a blessing in disguise. Everyone at SHA has been wonderful and all through my journey. I was shocked that the person who contacted me about Salish Landing remembered helping me find housing after the fire. I really appreciate the people who helped me and the people who are working here now. They're great. So, that's from Josh Rana.